Hi, and welcome to the Ultimate Sales Conversion Highlight Reel, a TTEC web series about how to improve your sales game and deliver championship results. Today, we'll be talking about the most important part of the sales strategy, the customer. Because as the saying goes, without customers, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. So joining me to discuss this very important topic is Tim Blank of TTEC. So welcome to the show, Tim.
Hey, Liz, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good.
Tim, you and I are sports fans, and as you've probably noticed over the past few months, when you watch a game without fans, it sort of loses something, right? And in the sales world, if you've got a game without fans, you have no sales, and certainly we don't want that. So I was really interested to talk to you today about just the importance of building strong customer relationships and creating some loyal fans. So from your perspective, why is it really important to cultivate those relationships through nurturing, relationship building, and other ways to develop customer relationships?
It's a great question. When I think about customer loyalty, I think about two key metrics. The first is the cost of customer acquisition. There's a widely accepted industry statistic that says it costs 5 times as much to acquire a new customer as it does to retain an existing one. So if we baseline at sort of cost of customer acquisition, I think that the proof is in the pudding for why you want to retain loyal customers. But that's not the only metric, right? The second metric that's really important is customer lifetime value. And obviously, the customer lifetime value is effectively the spend that a customer will have with your company or your brand over the duration of the time in which they are engaged with your company. Obviously, customer lifetime value can be drastically impacted by increasing the amount of a per transaction spend, or just increasing the duration in which they interact with your brand. And so, those two key statistics / tenets are really what dictate why customer loyalty is so important. It's funny, in preparation for this, I pulled down some statistics that I thought would be interesting to share. So on top of the 5 times statistic that I just shared with you, increasing customer retention by 5% can increase profits from anywhere between 25 to 95%. In addition, for anybody in the sales game, that converting is sort of the ultimate goal. And when you are selling to existing customers, you have a success rate of anywhere between 60 and 70%. Versus when you are selling to new customers, that success rate drops to between 5 and 20%. So if you couple the cost of acquisition, the customer lifetime value, and the ability in which you can impact top line revenue, I think it goes without saying that customer loyalty is absolutely critical. One last set of factoids for you, and again, I pulled this from multiple sources, so I think you should take these directionally. But I'm reading them here so I don't get them wrong. Loyal customers are 5 times as likely to repurchase, 5 times as likely to forgive, 4 times as likely to refer, and 7 times as likely to try a new offering. So again, customer lifetime value, cost of acquisition, and statistics like that pretty much dictate that customer loyalty is key.
Yeah, those are some great numbers. Really, really impressive. I mean, I guess it comes down to it's easier to learn how to know someone better than just to have to introduce them and get to know them in the first place. So great,
Absolutely.
Great stats. So now that we know loyalty is important and really will help drive more sales, what are some of your go-to plays as a salesperson, or some recommendations on how to cultivate those relationships and create die-hard fans, not just fair weather fans of your business?
Sure. Well, the first thing from my perspective is a changing of a mindset, and that is every interaction with the customer is a selling interaction, right? Whether you are selling a product or service to close a deal and affect top line revenue, or you are selling the brand and trying to engender loyalty, it's still a selling opportunity. And so whether that is a typical sales interaction or even a service interaction, it should be viewed as a selling opportunity as you engage with your customers in the varying levels. So once that sort of mindset has shifted, there's some key things that you can do. As I think anybody that's watching this is going to be familiar with, brands like the Amazons and the T-Mobiles and the Ubers of the world over the course of the last 10 years, and they continue to do so, are changing our customers' expectations around customer experience and what's acceptable. Getting your products overnight and at a lower cost than if you go into the store, making it easy to do business with them and meeting the customer where the customer wants to be met are no longer necessarily aspirational, because we're all customers too. And so if you put your own lens on how you interact with, or how your customers interact with your brand in the same way that you interact with other brands, I think it'll become evident relatively quickly that it's important to adjust your strategy around customer experience. And so then with that said, sort of the how-to, right? I alluded to the changing customer expectations. The first most critical element of a effective customer experience strategy from a selling perspective is, what are you going to do about your omni-channel strategy, right? So again, customers want to be met where customers want to be met, when they want to be met, and the manner in which they want to be met. And if you can take advantage of those interactions and create the channels and the experiences through those channels that the customer is looking for, then your chance of winning goes up significantly. And so again, whether that's enabling your customer to interact with you over chat or conversational commerce, asynchronous messaging, whether it's providing the voice option or even enabling self-service. And again, I'm using the term service in a sales conversation, but again, every interaction is a selling interaction. So that's really the first thing, is figuring out how does your customer want to interact with you and your brand, and then satisfying that objective. I know I'm not using enough sports metaphors, so I'm reaching for one right now. The second thing that I think is extremely important is then knowing who your customers are from a tiering perspective, and knowing where the high value customers are from a customer lifetime value and the low value customers are, and then developing loyalty programs and ways to work with those customers in a manner that makes sense and is cost effective for you and your company. And so again, loyalty programs is a great way to do that. There's a certain assumption that I'm making here, and that's that your products and services are something that your customers are interested in continuing or purchasing and continuing to purchase. And so we'll leave that on the side, but then again, once you've got that relationship, maximizing that relationship through making it easy to do business with, treating those customers and engendering that loyalty is really, really important. And then lastly, I don't want the audience here to think that this is all about technology solutions, because it's not. It's very much about taking a customer-centric approach, right? And being focused on customer satisfaction and net promoter score, et cetera, and making sure that you're living and breathing that mission as you interact with your customers and your loyal fan base.
Thank you all for joining us today. For those of you watching, as Tim mentioned, there's a lot to be said about trying to understand your customers and really getting to the heart of what they need. And with that, TTEC actually has a white paper called Know More, Sell More, that is all about using data and the things that Tim talked about to understand your customers better and have more of those relevant conversations, so that it's more of a relationship interaction and not a sales, impersonal sort of sales interaction. So there's a link down below. You can see ttec.com/know more, sell more. You can go download that white paper. So very, very pertinent topic, piece of content for you for that. Have a great day, team, and we'll see you next time.
Game over.